let's see if we can get on that one more time and hammer it. I got a big old pair of vice grips on that drum. No, I don't. It happens when the phone rings. That should keep everything from falling apart on the other side. The last tooth came out of it too that I was missing. We found it. So let's rotate this whole assembly back up onto the jig again. And what do you think? Do we look like we got somewhere with this? Well, I guess if everything else stacks on top of it the way it should, we should be okay, right? Next is going to be, I think, a snap ring for here. All right, is that the next one side? Yeah, we got to go put that side on. The forks look like they are. Let's put that down all the way. I'm going to go give that a little love tap just to make sure that this is not. Good thing we checked. There we go. We had some binding. Let's tap that into place. I just heard it hit. Heard it go home. They should be able to slide. See that one moving? That one will move. That one will move. I think we should probably put the rest of the pieces together before we try rotating anything, just so that we don't lose what we got. My fear is that this whole assembly is in upside down, but I don't think so, because I think the curve, if it was curved the other way, I think it would be too close to the shaft. I think we're okay. Alright, so putting things back together is we're going to have this snap ring, that one on that guy. Oh, you guys, I should probably shoot you down. Let me go reset you up. You can look down at it. Yeah, a little better. Okay, so this guy's got to go on. There. Then we have that thrush washer to go on. And we have that gear to go on. That's going to be that guy. Then that guy. And that. And this one only had one more to go. But the question is, will everything shift like it should? I wonder if I should probably put the other side of the case on without the crankshaft and everything. And I don't know, can we manually kind of spin it and pop it through the gears. Is that a possibility? See, I don't think we're going to be able to do that well now without it kind of like lifting up on the shafts, you know what I mean? That's that one, that one, that one. But I got one more to rotate. Using that one. I think this one needs to come up. No. That one stays the same. Probably need to spin something. There it goes. So that's the last gear. So we travel all the way that way. One gear. Yeah, I'm spinning, doesn't. Again. Again. That's it. It just traveled the whole distance all the way around. What do you think? Think I'm good, or you think I missed something up? One of you right now are yelling at the screen. So I got no more parts on my nails. That's good. The only last piece I had to go put on was this brass, and that's got a little detent on it, and that looks like it's just meant to make contact with that's probably the neutral safety switch right there on the other side of the case. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to go clean this up like I did the other side. Now this one I'll just throw right in the parts washer, and we'll get the gunk out of the bottom of it. We'll assemble it without the crank, and we'll just make sure that everything kind of fits together, and if it does, then I know I'm good. In other words, we're going to do a dry run. Before that, I'm going to run in and get a cup of coffee. And fresh out of the parts washer. I'll lose those washers. You get the idea. So I think my best plan of attack is going to be to assemble it one time only, because the alignment pins are going to be fighting me a little bit for closing the case up anyway. So I figure we will just kind of go for it. And I'm not sure what they seal it up with from the factory. You could tell it was stuck on there quite good. You know, it could have been just old age. I don't know if they use a sealer or not, but I think I'm going to go with the right stuff and use that for our sealer. So I think I want to try to get that laid out. I'm going to get the gasket out, see how well the gasket fits. I think we're to that point. Sealers on the back side, gaskets on, and then sealers on the other side of the case. It will give us a couple little dribbles on the bindy parts. Okay. Let's give a little erase right there. And hopefully the two pieces will want to play. What was that? I didn't like that noise. You don't see anything, do you? I just heard that little tang of a noise. See if it does it again. I need my headlight. I gotta look in between there. I think I have to try to kind of push those shafts around a little bit. Line them up maybe. Let's see. That guy's way up. I'm tapping. Something's all right. It's that guy right there. Seems like it's not. So I've got some flex. That's why. It's got flex to it. Can I grab that from the other side? Yes, I can. That is the kickstart, I believe. All right, let's try it again. Warmer. Should be on the dowel pins right now. Hopefully. That shaft's trying to work its way out. Well, the gap is closed all the way around. That's a good sign. That looks pretty good. I'm going to throw a couple of screws in there and sandwich it together, and I think we should probably make sure that everything spins. That's the shifter. But let me get some screws in it, and so it won't come apart, and then we can take it off the stand. Alright, so I put the clutch back on, and I ended up, I don't know if you can see, yeah, I ended up putting a bracket across here and putting a screw in it. This is the shift rod that comes through from the other side. Problem is, the case that's over here holds that in place, so it was kind of popping off of the cogs. And I was trying to run it through the gears and it was kind of fighting me a little bit. I think I'm okay, but so right now it's in neutral. I'll spin the engine. That should be first gear. Go back to neutral, which it is. I can feel the output shaft. And then that's second, third, third. Oh, that was third. I'm not sure. I'm now confused. All the way up and down. Back on neutral. So I think what the issue is the output shaft that the sprocket is on. Normally the bike is rolling and that shaft is turning. I have it sitting still, and so what I would do is I would spin it a little bit with my hand. It would feel like it wasn't like latching in, and you could see it on the cam here, it wouldn't latch in. And as soon as I spin the cam, I think those big cogs that we saw just needed to turn a little bit so they can kind of shift and lock into each other, which is normal, again, when the bike is rolling. Kind of like when you're trying to shift through the gears, the engine's running and you're trying to shift through the gears, but the bike's sitting still. You kind of rock it a little bit. I think that's what's happening. I hope that's what's happening. Also, it's dry on the inside. That enough excuses? So I think I'm going to go put the oil pump back on. As I said, I didn't connect the crankshaft to it because I wanted to be able to spin it free, you know, spin the clutch free, and that seems to be okay. So I feel, yeah, we're going to give it a number. I'm going to give it 85% confident. Again, it's a first for me, so you know, we're learning together. I think I'm going to continue to reassemble this side and see how far we get. Putting the oil pump together. It came with new seals. The green ones are the new ones. I don't know, I'm not all that crazy about the diameter of that compared to what was in there. So I think I'm going to go with the original ones instead. That would be a sucky point to have fail. Paranoid that they fall out. Yeah, I think we got it. I think they're 10s. Did you hear the torque wrench click? And then we got the drive gear and then the shaft. That's keyed down in there, so that's going to have to get rid of the screws. And what that has, I have to take that top part off. Yeah, comes right out. And that has to click all the way down. So it's into the pump and into the gear. There we go. And then the speedometer comes into here and drives off of that. So I need the thrush washer that fell out of it. It's right in there. And then hopefully we can get this thing in. There we go. Rotate that to there. Those are definitely not a 10. like an 8. And then I think we have pretty much everything together on this side. I think I'm going to leave the gasket that's on here. It looks good. And I don't want to glue it. This cover I can get off on when it's on the bike too. It's not that big of a deal. So I think we'll leave that well enough alone. And if I have an issue later, I could always change the gasket. But for now, I think that one may suffice. And let's make sure all the whirly bits go roundy round. Come on, you're slacking. There you go. And just imagine that moving at a blurring speed. I'll change the piston and the cylinder once I get this all back together. Kind of an odd setup. I was looking at how it gets oil pressure to the crank. It looks like what it does, this is the pump, and oil comes up through these passages. So we could do this without dumping all the screws in the case. And this is so that's those passages right there. That this cavity comes up through there, through that center hole, and then through that preloaded spring on that. I find that to be a bit of a strange way to go about doing that. Usually it's just into the bearing. It gets oiled, a passage in the bearing in the case. This is the clutch right here. When you push the lever, the cable gets connected to that. That moves that lever, and that pushes down on the center right here, and makes the disc have contact or not have contact. And so that all gets put back together. And there was a boss, remember where I had that bracket going across, there's a boss on the case that pushes against that. You would think that would have had like a pin or something that held it. It doesn't. Alright. Buzz them in. The screws are JAS, JIS. We used to call them what the hell? Posse drives. I don't know if they changed the name of them. Same screws, same screwdriver. They'd have the little dot next to them that kind of indicate what they were. You guys can see it. Oh, it's going to show up. There's little dots next to them, and it indicates it's that kind of screw. So, and I'll get those with the correct screwdriver. Here I got it up in the vise, and the next is going to be start assembling the top end. I just want to make sure the clutch. Yeah, it feels good. How's that? Have to put it in gear. Let's try to pop it into gear. Is it gear? You moving? You're moving. Alright. Let's see. Got that guy. How did I have it? I just had it, right? need a pair of pliers on that guy. I think I'm in first gear. Let's give the clutch in. Yeah. That's definitely grabbing. And there it's able to slip. No oil in it though, so. One last thing we gotta check is the kickstart. Make sure that guy still works too. I think we're fine. Well guys, it's come to the point of the evening where I think I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I've gotten pretty far on it. All the gears are back together. It seems like everything is working, hopefully. And this video is probably getting a little on the long side anyway. So with that, I'm going to start to wrap this one up. And I just want to thank you all for coming by and hanging out in the garage with me and doing a little bit of wrenching and working on some projects. And with that, we'll get together very shortly and we'll continue on and finish getting the top end on that and figure out how to get the timing chain and timing all together and adjust the valves and get the motor reinstalled and get it fired up. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for subbing, thanks for subscribing, thanks for commenting, and I'll see you later.